Okay, so I get my first DJI, and it's the DJI Tello. This is basically how it comes. Fully assembled, prop guards on, ready to fly. You just got to charge up the battery, that's all. And it's a nice little quad actually. Mine I'm flying on my phone, so I'm just going to see how we get on with that. There is an optional controller, transmitter that you can get as well, but I'm just going to do it on the phone, check the range and everything. Because I think that lobbed into a bag, good selfie drone if it works well, and just your phone's always in your pocket, could be a really good little answer for getting some nice shots when you're out and about. It's got, talking about shots and everything, got 720p camera on here, and it's got image stabilization. It's with the software basically is image stabilization. It's not got optical stabilization. It certainly hasn't got a gimbal or anything, as you can see. The props are nice and flexible, so if you did take the prop guards off, you probably wouldn't do any damage either. And they're quite beefy looking motors, sort of thing. It's quite a nice, it's a nice sort of proportioned quad, I would say, definitely in the X style as well. The battery we've got is a high voltage, so it's 3.8 volts, and it's 1100 milliamp hour. And now they give a time, a 13-minute flight time. If this does that, that will be amazing, because there's actually loads of things I've got to show you on the app. So if I've got that sort of time, that would be brilliant. You can only put the battery in one way. It's got a little lug there that stops you plugging it in the wrong way and damaging the connectors, which are way down inside there, which is basically what this goes into. So I'm going to pop that in, and you can leave it in as well. There's an on-off switch on the side here. Once we pop that on, you'll see we get flashing LEDs, and there's lots of different colours that it changes to. They're the only LEDs on it that I can see, and it's telling you the state and whether you're bound and everything else to it. So, and I'll put the table up of what the colours mean just here so you can have a look. The charging port is here on the side, so you charge actually on board. I'm sure there'll be an additional battery charger if you want to, and there should be some spare batteries. Anything I can find that's related to this that I think you ought to be having a look at, I'll put some links down in description for you below. Got micro USB charging port here, and also you could, I would imagine you can update the firmware on it as well, because you know, this is new out, so there might well be some changes, but I'm hoping they've got it right. So that's enough on the actual quad itself. Let's have a look at the app. And as with most quads like this, pop the quad on. I'll leave that so you hopefully see those flashing LEDs. And then go into your Wi-Fi settings. I've already had a quick play around with this indoors just to make sure everything did go on. Just going to see whether or not it's going to pick it back up. There we go, Tello, and it's automatically loading it onto my phone. That might not happen on every phone. It's certainly working with my one, which is good. So come back to your home page. You need to download the Tello app, and this works on Android or Apple as well. I'm going to launch into that, and as you can see, there's different LEDs are changing again. And there we go. There we are. And like I say, it's changed yet again on there. Yeah, there we go. We're all live, sort of thing. So that's rather good. The app's got quite a few functions on it. I'm quite impressed with it so far. The sticks are virtual sticks, so you literally just move wherever you put your thumb on from the centre of your screen to the right. It will move this right hand one to where you are, and that will become your centre stick, and then you can do whatever movements you want. And the left hand one, obviously, if you come over to the centre again, anything past the centre, it will then grab the right hand one. So just be aware of that, but you don't have to look at the controller when you're actually going to start, which I quite like. You can literally do it anywhere on your screen. You've got auto takeoff here, press that and it primes the motors up, and then we'll take off. You can also pull both sticks down and out, and that will also prime the motors ready for you to take off manually. The default is mode 2, so basically your throttle's on this side, so push up, the quad will ascend, pull down, it will descend, push it to the right, the quad will rotate to the right, push it to the left, quad rotates to the left. And then we're on to our direction, which is on in mode 2 flight mode, is this one on the right here. So push that forward, the quad will go forward, and this is the orientation of the quad. So the front of the quad is forward. So where the camera is basically is forward. So even if it's facing towards you, if you press forward, it's coming, the quad's going forward. That's called pitching forward back, and then rolling to the right, rolling to the left. And these aren't points of the compass. You can just literally do any sort of angle. And I always sort of say that flying a quad is all feel. Basically, you're giving a little bit of stick input on both of them. You're not concentrating on what you're doing here. You're concentrating on what this thing's doing. Now you can either do that via the FPV, which seems to be working pretty good, or you can do it line of sight where you're just going to look at the quad. We've got various flight modes, and I'm hoping the battery will last so I can show you all through all these. We've got our settings here as well, and then we've got slow speed and fast speed. I'm starting slow, first go out, so let's just see how we get on. You can put VR goggles on, so if you're going to use VR goggles for the FPV, you can do that. You've got your Bluetooth setting for the going on for the controller. You've got your Wi-Fi setting. If you want to put a password in there, you can do. There's no need to, by the way. There is no password with it. And then if we go into more, we've got all our settings here. So we can change it from metric to imperial. The photo quality, I'm going to leave that on normal to see how we go. Low battery warning you can choose, and these are sliders, so you just literally choose where you want it to go. So we'll put that, I don't know, 14 or whatever. This is where we would change it to mode 1, which puts the throttle, instead of being on the left side, puts the throttle on the right and puts the pitch on the left. You can alter the exposure on the camera as well, and also the bit rate on the video as well, depending on what you want. Then we can go into an advanced area, and we've got a lot more settings in here. Tells you what the firmware is and everything, and whether or not we need to update it. So I'm going to leave it at, this is how it's come to me, so I'm going to leave it as that. You can calibrate it as well, put it on somewhere level and hit the calibrate button, it will calibrate the gyro on it as well. So I think we've done enough of the blethering. Let's get on with flying. Oh, there's another couple of bits, always is, isn't there? You've got your battery level there, you've got our Wi-Fi signal strength here that goes up and down, and you've got what speed we're going to be doing, and also this one here, you've got the height, so you don't actually know a distance away from you. You can play back any videos you've shot, and this changes it from taking stills to taking video, so it's ready for taking stills at the moment. If I press that, it then changes it to videos, ready for video, and we'll do it on video, I think. So right, like I say, let's get up and fly, shall we? So, like I say, you can just pull the sticks down and out, and it goes ready to fly. Nothing will happen till you give it some stick input. There we go. I want to get it away from that tree. I didn't want it sliding backwards. Now, there's no breeze in the garden today, so it shouldn't even move around, even if it didn't have the positioning system on it. So if I move it, you'll see it's really sort of struggling to come back to where it was there. And the actual Wi-Fi seems to be pretty good. I've seen a little bit of a drop out there actually. Yeah. So that's in, oh, Wi-Fi signal low? Wow, that's weird. So this is in low rates. So it's not really got an awful lot of gusto in it, but if you want to do nice smooth video, then you shouldn't need to. Oh yeah, that video is, I would say that video is dropping out a bit. I don't know why it's saying I've got low signal, because I mean it couldn't be much closer really, to be honest. Yeah, so it's working pretty good. I'm going to pop the rates up into high, and then you'll see what the difference is. Oh yeah, that's got a bit, wait, that's got a bit more go in it. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Nice. Yeah, that's pretty good. So you can bring it down. Once you bring it down, it starts to slow on its descent. You see that? I'm still holding the stick off, and it would just come right down low because it's getting ready to land now. I'm going to cancel the land there. You can land in two different ways. Well, three different ways. You basically pull the throttle off and just land it. You can auto land it, which will just bring it down. It's coming into land. And then you can either cancel it there, and then it will stop, as you saw. And as you can see, the altitude hold and the positioning is superb on this. And then there is another one as well, which if I bring that down, we can do hand landing, and just confirm you want it to land in your hand. Now that takes off the visual positioning sensor, otherwise it will see your hand and it will go back up. You can launch it with a throw as well, so let me just show you that. Oops, if you don't do it in time, I was just hoping that was going to time out. If you don't do it in time, it will actually cancel out. So press that. We just do that. I'm not seeing a lot of benefit in that myself, but they put these things on, which is rather good. So, and like I was saying, if I just bring that down just a wee bit, if I put my hand underneath, I'm making it go up. I'm not touching anything on the controls there. And it's just actually, we take it up. It won't bring it back down to the position. So again, if I put my hand there, I'm pushing my hand up, it would just go up away from me. Almost sort of got a feng shui control over it, so very good. You've got some other functions here as well. You can do a 360, so it will pirouette and do a 360. Actually, you can up and out. This is quite an unusual little technique. I think this works quite well. I'm just going to come back, just going to put it up just a wee bit there. There we go. So just press yes, and then basically, as you see, it's videoing, it's going away from me, and it's just going up and out. So it gives a nice shot. If you did it correctly, you could sort of reverse that with your footage, and that could look quite cool, sort of thing. I don't know why it keeps saying I've got a weak Wi-Fi signal. I might have give it a go with another phone, but this is a new phone-ish, so it should be fine. Let's just show you some of the other things. We can do a bounce mode. Now, I really don't understand this one, but I will show it to you. I think it's a Tigger mode they've put in for Tigger RC reviews especially, and this is what it does. It just literally goes down, goes back up, goes down, comes back up. It just does that until you press the cancel button here. Now all of the functions always have this red cross that you can just cancel it. You've got other ones as well. You could circle mode. So let me just do that. I'll just take it up a wee bit. Point it to where you want it to go. It's about 2 meters away. I'm guessing that's about 2 meters. And if I press yes now, it will then go off on a little journey around me. I'm just going to step out, just trying to see how good it is. I obviously wasn't quite stood in the centre of the circle. But if you're up at the top of a hill or so, I think this could be awesome, because I do quite a bit of sort of hill walking and that. This could be a really cool thing to do, sort of thing. I would call it an orbit, but they call it a circle mode, that's fine. And then just press that to cancel it. You can also do a it'll just do a pirouette around. I would call it a pirouette, they call it a circle round. So it just literally will go and do a complete circle in a second. I'll just show you that. So we're 10 meters away there. Whoop. So, yeah, and it's still holding position. That's very good. So let me just show you this one. So 360 there. Press that and then press yes, and then it will just do a nice little quick circle. And like I say, top of a hill will be good. All you see in here in my garden is trees. But I'm losing that Wi-Fi signal quite a lot actually. And because I'm directly below it, I've rebooted the phone as well, so yeah, it's a little bit of a surprise. Okay. I'm going to just cancel out of that. There we go. I'm going to stop. Oh, sorry, because of course that was recording a new one there. I'm going to take a still up there as well. So let's just turn that round just a wee bit, just to there, and just do a quick still. There we go. I'm going to start the video again. Oh, actually, no, I'm not. What I'll do is I'll bring it down. It actually descends quite quickly for an altitude hold quad. Some of them don't. So. And the exposure moves around on auto exposure anyway. It's not the way I usually do things. Just try and get a nice one here. It's a dull, miserable day. It's not good with these little cameras. And then obviously if you just want to do a selfie as well, so yes, you can do a selfie. So quite good, I'd say. Yeah. Let's pop that video back on. Oops. So you have to let it finish recording it back. There we go. And then press record. So let's do a quick range test. We've still got 38% on the battery. I don't know how long we've been flying for, but I should give it a few battery runs through just to see how we get on. I don't think we're going to do much on range, to be honest. A little bit disappointed with this, with the Wi-Fi dropout, certainly. Yeah, so again, I can't tell how far away I am. Well, I know exactly how far away I am. I know my garden really well, but there's no way of it telling you. And we've gone on to slow. I must admit that does seem a bit slow. There we go. We're over 50 meters there, so that's good. That was fine. Yeah, that Wi-Fi dropped out really quick. Yeah, we were just on about 80 meters. If I get to the hedge, I know it's about 80 meters from here, so it's reasonably good. The flight characteristics are nice and I like it. It's even in high rates I can still do it slow things, and the actual stable video it really does look a nice stabilisation. It flies really nicely. These apps are getting better and better, I think. Oh, the other thing I didn't show you was we've got a flip mode. I just remembered. Oh, I bet there won't be enough power now, will they? Yeah, I just dropped the power right down. I'm going to have to come back out again. Oh dear, going to have to come and fly again. No. So when the battery gets low, it tells you it can't be doing things. Whether or not you can do that one, no. Failed to enter any of the special modes. Woo, it's having a little bit of a hissy fit by the sounds of it. So I'm going to see if I run the battery right out what actually happens. So we're down to 18% now. I'll stop the video. Like I say, if I put my hand underneath, you can't, it's quite difficult to get it to land into your hand because it's fighting against it. If you keep pulling the throttle right off, it will come down and stop. And auto takeoff you can just do, simply press, it says slide to take off. So the throw one is, yeah, I don't really know what game we've got with that throw system that they've got. Most quads I've found you can just throw and launch anyway, so just, I suppose they're just putting different things on these things just to keep it going. But it is quite cool, and it certainly holds position without any problem, and really nice to do. It's a nice looking little quad. I'll be interested to see how long a flight we've got there. And obviously I'll pop back out and I'll show you how it does the flips as well in a minute. We'll just get that battery charged. The initial charge took about an hour, so it'll be interesting to see when I take it right down low how we get on. We've now got a flashing red LED, so warning us that we are getting low on the power. And I'm just going to run this right the way out and just see what happens. The FPV would be usable. It's quite usable. It seems to have settled itself back down now. Yeah, it's cool. Wow, it's doing really well, actually. Nice little flyer. Oh, I think we're losing a little bit of... Oh yeah, I think we're definitely losing speed now. Yeah, low battery warning, land as soon as possible. So I'm just going to see whether it will land itself. The other thing is, when it's going at speed, if you come low to the ground, it slows down as well. So let's see if I can show you that. Well, it's not going to do it now, is it? Whoa! I'll get that battery charged up and we're having a little play with it. I did notice that when it was just flying down the end of the garden, it just seemed to slow up quite a bit. So it's down to 5% on the battery now. Oh! I was trying to do loops in there. I think we might just be a little bit too low for it. So let's just see how we get on. Yep, I think the battery's actually finally gone. So that was, yeah. Low battery, takeoff failed. I don't know if I can prime the motors. No. There we go. Right, let's get this back on charge and I'll pop back out and finish with the rest of the review. Okay, so put a little bit of charge back in the battery there, and I've upgraded the firmware as you saw there, so hopefully this should might make the Wi-Fi a bit better. I'm not 100% convinced about that, but be interested in it with us. I'll just show you how it does flips. Typical Scotland, we just had literally a downpour and we've got beautiful sunshine, it's gorgeous. So this flip thing is just here, you press OK, and then basically you've got here and you can just choose whatever angle, so it even flips diagonally sort of thing, which is a little bit unusual on quads. I just find flipping like this is a little bit sort of, anyone can do it, it's just, you just do that with it really. So, hey ho, it's there, and virtually every quad I know flips sort of thing. Let me show you up that rate, and then I'll show you how when you bring it in low to the ground it actually slows down. So it's quite an unusual sort of thing. So I'll show you at full pitch sort of thing. Let's just bring that around to there. So this is full pitch, so I'm going to bring it in quite close to the ground. So that's as fast as it's going. As soon as I bring it down, it starts to slow. There you go. So it's not because it's landing, it's actually as soon as it gets close to the surface, it then actually slows down your forward speed sort of thing. So let's just see if I get any more range on this thing. Oops, I was going to start the video, I just did another shot, so let's just start the video now. Let's just see how far we get this time. No, it's still dropping off, you see. It's about 80 metres there. Yeah, I'm down, yeah, just about 80 metres there, so yeah, that's really struggling. I don't even know if I can turn it round to, well, I can't even tell what way it's turned now. No, it's not doing anything. Oh, there we go. Oh no, I can see it now. There we go. That's cool. Nice little flyer. The range, I've had less range than that out of them. I think I was just expecting a little bit too much. I've actually got another phone. I'll try it on that phone and see how we get on. So I'm going to try this on my, this is my old phone, it's a Yumi Super phone, just see whether or not I get any better on the Wi-Fi. I have no idea whether it will or it won't. Both the phones I've found okay in the past with other quads, so I don't know, we'll just see. Yeah, see, Wi-Fi signal weak again, so yeah, I'm not just not getting it, I must admit, which is a real shame. It's nice and slow, this. In low, you can do some really nice video stuff with it. I think you'd need a Wi-Fi extender or just put up with the fact that it only goes about 30 odd metres away, so yeah, it's fine, I guess. Flying that on the FPV, see how we get on. Oh, whoa! Let's just pop that round. There we go. Now I'm back out in safety here. Yeah, so yeah, you can fly a little bit of FPV on it. Actually, it's not too bad, to be honest. I've flown worse, that's for sure. Yeah, just get a weak signal everywhere sort of thing on it, so that's fair enough. Nice and smooth though. It's sort of flyable. Yeah, that's okay. Look at that. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty happening, isn't it? Whoops. Make sure we don't. Oh, there we go. Classic. Roll on, summer. Let's get some leaves on these trees. I'll be able to see them. Yeah. No damage done. Absolutely fine. These things are built for it. It's a full review. Okay, and on to the summary. What I'm going to do is run all the onboard footage from several flights. I've probably done 8 to 10 flights on it in the background now, so you can actually have a look at it. The flight time was around 11 minutes, and they gave 13, so that wasn't too bad. They sort of over-egged it just a little bit, and perhaps in perfect ideal conditions you could get 13 minutes, but I was pretty much spot on 11 on all my flights, I must admit. What do I think of it overall? Well, to be honest, underwhelmed would be my term. I'm honest on the channel, just the way I am, and I can't see any sense in doing a review that isn't honest. Hopefully DJI will look at it and they might take something from it, and as from all the other reviewers as well. So that's my honest review, and unbiased as well. Why am I underwhelmed with it? Well, I think it's quite expensive for what it is. If you put quite a lot more money towards it, you could get something like a Spark, which is way better. You've got brushless motors, the range is good, the performance is so much better, and the quality out of the video and everything is much better indeed. Or if you want something for about a third of the price, there's some really nice folding drones that you can get that I've done reviews on. I'll put links down in the description so you can go and have a look. And I sort of think that would be where my money was. I was hoping I could bung this in my rucksack, take it out when I do hill walking and do some really nice footage, but to be honest, for me the footage isn't up to the mark. Now if you look at the footage and think it's absolutely fine, then that's good, that's fine. Then perhaps this one will be for you. It is nice and small, the app is absolutely super on it, works really well. There's a couple of issues I had with it. If you change anything on the app, like put the photos to higher quality rather than lower quality, or change anything like the bitrate on the video, as soon as you turn the app off or action one of the
sort of controlled flights like the orbit flight or the 360 flight, that sort of thing, as soon as you go back to your settings, they've all reset to their default. Also, if you turn the app off and turn it back on again, that does exactly the same as well. So again, a little bit niggly there, but they're developing it all the time. I had an update, as you saw on it, got an alert on the phone, and it was very easy to update the firmware on it and no problem at all. But I haven't actually noticed any change in it, but obviously they've sorted something out. So perhaps it's early days, perhaps they'll come on and it will be absolutely superb. The image stabilisation did work, but again, personally I'd rather have better quality video and not the image stabilisation, or a combination of the two for the money. That would be my option there. The stills were very nice, pretty good for what they were, I thought, and I'm quite pleased with them. When you do the higher quality or the lower quality, they come out as exactly the same pixels. They're just not compressed quite as much, but honestly, when you even zoom it up to 100%, there's really no difference at all in the artifacts or anything, so I don't quite know why they have the two there. The video transfer rate on auto is about 10,000 kilobytes per second, so that should be okay for 720p. That should be fine, but you can see the quality, you make up your mind there. For me, no, not good enough, I'm afraid. The actual positioning on it and the flying of it was great fun. I really enjoyed it. It is a nice flyable quad. The positioning works well indoors and outdoors, and I had no issues. And I flew it in a couple of environments where it was a little bit of a breeze and it was still holding really well. So yeah, they've got this really nice sort of thing. The battery and everything, you charge that on board. You don't actually get the charging cable with it. I mean, it's just a usual USB to micro USB, and actually I'll just plug it in here so you can actually see. So I'm just using a power bank, which is what I tend to use if I'm out and about for the day. Means I can charge up when I'm walking to the next bit that I want to go and play with. When you plug it in, you run through all the little LEDs that happen, and then you start to get a little blue pulsing one there. Hopefully the camera will pick that up, and then when it's fully charged, it goes solid. So the charge time was just over an hour, so hour to an hour and 10 minutes, and I completely depleted the battery every time. I did measure it and it hadn't got into a dangerous area at all. They never ever do, actually. Well, I've never had a quad that's ever done that and damaged the battery personally. So the prop guards, if you took them off, that's probably going to actually give you a little bit longer flight, so that might be where the way they tested it, or I'm sure they tested it in a perfect environment as well. The actual props are really nice. They're actually sort of designed ones, they're not cheapo ones, which you would expect, and they're quite flexible, so I think prop guards off, I don't think you'd do any damage, and it was a good flying experience. I really enjoyed it. I'm just let down by a few of the other bits. One of the major bits was range. As soon as I went 2-3 meters away, in a clear environment with no metalwork around me at all, it instantly started to get alert and the Wi-Fi signal dropped right off. I've had way better than that off much cheaper quads, so I was a little bit disappointed there, but they might develop that out and it might get better. I tried it on 2 different phones. I've got a Samsung Galaxy, I think it's an A5 2017, and I've got a Yumi Super, and both of them I fly loads of different quads in my reviews, and they are the two that I use all the time, and I've never had any issues like that before, really, to be perfectly honest. So you don't really get much in the pack. You just get a spare set of props. I had a few incidents with it, but didn't actually have to replace those, so the prop guards do work. You've got a little prop removal tool there. Slide it in under the prop, between the prop and the motor. Give it a little push and it pulls it off without wrenching the actual motors themselves. The motors I thought were very efficient, actually. Being as my one came from China, the little quick start guide is all in Chinese, as is the box, but I would imagine that's because they've got it out really quick. I would imagine normally it would come out in your language, but I will put a link down to the full manual, and the full manual is very well done on this as well, and you just simply go online to download it, so I found that absolutely fine. One of the other things I was a little bit disappointed about was that LED. That's literally all you get for an LED. So when you flew it away and you're in a contrasty lighting, you couldn't see. I mean, most quads have LEDs out on the arms, or at least at the back and the front of the body, but absolutely nothing on this at all, just that little one at the front. And I can see they've sort of done it for a style point of view, but it's not, doesn't make it a pleasant flying experience, and that's what I'm after. I want a pleasant flying experience that gives me great video. So I'm afraid this one just doesn't do it. Whether or not the channel will now be closing because nobody's going to send me anything else to review because I'm a bit too honest, I don't know. If they do, then this will be my last video, and I hope you've enjoyed it. If not, I look forward to seeing you on the next one.